July 16, 1945. The United States detonated the first atomic bomb, codenamed Trinity, in the New Mexico desert. This test confirmed the feasibility of nuclear weapons. What if I told you about a single, blinding flash that didn't just illuminate a desert landscape, but ripped a profound, irreversible hole in the very fabric of human history? A moment so utterly transformative, so monumentally significant, it fundamentally redefined our understanding of power, of warfare, and even of our own precarious existence. Get ready, because we're about to embark on a journey back to that singular day when humanity, through an astonishing blend of scientific brilliance and desperate necessity, somehow managed to bottle a piece of the sun itself. Picture this. The year is 1945. The world is a planet-sized battlefield, bleeding from years of unprecedented, brutal conflict. Global powers are locked in a death grip, and the air is thick with the stench of war, desperation, and the yearning for an end, any end, to the seemingly endless carnage. Far from the front lines, in a remote, desolate, dust-swept corner of the New Mexico desert, a clandestine group of some of the most brilliant minds on Earth, physicists, chemists, engineers, and mathematicians, were gathered. They were poised on the precipice of an unimaginable experiment, driven by an urgent, terrifying race against time. This wasn't merely about building a bigger bomb. It was about attempting to unlock a force previously confined to the unimaginable pressures at the hearts of stars. This was the culmination of the Manhattan Project, and their ultimate top-secret trial, codenamed Trinity, was about to irrevocably usher in an entirely new epoch, the Atomic Age. On the pre-dawn darkness of July 16, 1945, at a desolate site ominously named Jornada del Muerto, Journey of the Dead Man, the air itself seemed to crackle with an almost unbearable tension. Every whispered breath, every thumping heartbeat of the assembled scientists and military personnel was heavy with the untold weight of the unknown, the sheer enormity of what they were about to attempt. Perched atop a 100-foot steel tower stood the Gadget, a complex spherical device of meticulously engineered plutonium and high explosives, unlike anything ever conceived by humanity. The world for a fleeting moment seemed to hold its collective breath. Then, with the countdown's final hushed whisper, it happened. In an instant, the profound desert night simply evaporated. A light, an almost sacrilegious brightness erupted from the Gadget. A light, an almost sacrilegious brightness so utterly intense, so many times brighter than 1,000 suns, it seared itself into the very retinas of those who witnessed it, even from miles away. It wasn't just light, it was a physical force, a wave of pure energy that instantly incinerated the massive steel tower, turning it into superheated vapor. The very sand beneath the blast point fused into a new eerie green mineral, later dubbed trinitite, a permanent scar on the Earth. For a fleeting, terrifying second, the entire sky was illuminated, transformed into a blinding white canvas against the dark horizon, casting razor-sharp shadows in every direction. Then a monstrous, incandescent fireball rose up, boiling upwards with an almost living fury, a column of plasma and superheated air that dwarfed mountains, reaching miles into the stratosphere. It was as if a miniature star, a sun-child, had been spontaneously born on Earth, its raw, untamed energy unfurling with a terrifying, sublime beauty. Seconds later, the sound arrived,
a primal, earth-shaking roar that echoed for hundreds of miles, rattling bones, shaking the ground, and chilling souls to their very core. It was a thunderclap from a new, terrifying, man-made god. And finally, the iconic, utterly unforgettable mushroom cloud ascended, a towering, ominous sentinel of pulverized dust and debris, expanding majestically against the dawn sky, a stark, undeniable symbol of humanity's newfound, ultimate power. The shockwave from that single momentous flash didn't just ripple through the New Mexico desert. It reverberated across the entire globe, a seismic event that fundamentally altered the course of human history. The raw, terrifying power proven at Trinity was swiftly and devastatingly unleashed with unprecedented finality on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bringing World War II to a brutal, abrupt, and utterly unprecedented close. The world, weary and ravaged, had found its swift, albeit terrible, end to the global conflict. But the profound echoes of Trinity didn't fade with the last bombs dropped. They amplified, reverberating through every subsequent decade, reshaping geopolitics, international relations, and the very concept of security for generations to come. This single explosion, this single flash in the desert was nothing less than the cosmic seed, the Big Bang for the nuclear arms race. Nations suddenly aware of this previously unimaginable, godlike destructive power plunged headlong into a frantic global sprint to acquire it. It wasn't just about winning wars anymore. It was about simple existence, about survival in a world where the ultimate weapon had been revealed. This desperate, terrifying race ignited the Cold War, a chilling half-century-long global staring contest between two superpowers, each holding the other's very fate in its trembling hands. Trillions, yes, let that sink in, trillions of dollars, untold resources, and the tireless efforts of countless brilliant minds were diverted from other pursuits, poured instead into building vast arsenals capable of destroying the world many times over. Generations were born and grew up under the chilling, omnipresent shadow of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, a terrifyingly apt acronym for a doctrine that, paradoxically, maintained a fragile peace through the very threat of total, global annihilation. That single flash in the New Mexico desert didn't just end a war. It opened a profound Pandora's box of existential questions that humanity is still grappling with today. It fundamentally altered the human condition, forcing us, as a species, to confront the ultimate responsibility that comes with wielding ultimate power. For the very first time in our long, tumultuous history, humanity held the undeniable keys to its own potential extinction. This wasn't just a military breakthrough, it was a philosophical earthquake that shook the foundations of our collective consciousness. It made us, and continues to make us, ask the most profound questions. What do we do now that we can extinguish our own light? How do we navigate a future where the stakes are literally everything, where a single misstep could mean the end of civilization as we know it? The Trinity Test wasn't just a historical event. It was a profound, enduring lesson in the immense, often terrifying, and always fascinating power of human ingenuity and the ultimate, inescapable weight of its consequences. What other secrets does history still hold, waiting for us to uncover, to illuminate, and to reshape our understanding of ourselves and our place in this vast, mysterious universe? The more we delve into these pivotal moments, the smarter, the more curious, and ultimately, the more responsible we become about the incredible, often terrifying, and always fascinating journey of humanity.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more history daily.